All right, guys, we welcome you to another Overthrow Disc Golf Patreon form review. That means if you are the intermediate tier, not intermediary tier, the intermediate tier in our Patreon, you get to submit one of these once a month. That link is in the description below for you people who somehow stumbled upon this. We've got 15 a day. We're going to try to get through them. As always, if you're here and I've got your form, let us know in the chat so we can bump you up to the top. Other than that, I'm going to start mowing through them with timestamps. We got Dakota in the back today instead of Mikey. We're going to try to, I'm going to try to stay on task today so we can get you watching that Music City Open FPO coverage. So I can watch it, honestly. All right. I have a feeling Cole's going to be on here pretty soon. All right. John, you're up first, brother. Let's get started. Boom, ba-dum, bum. Wow. This doesn't even look like it would be in the U.S., which means it's probably in Georgia. Dang, brother, you're getting in some good positions. This is the tough position here because you're actually, I mean, it's not a bad job getting onto the front leg. It's very Cole Redolin-esque, right? Arkansas. I mean, deep pocket ain't no problem. You got it handled. Let's see the transition. Indoor soccer player in general. Just indoor shoes, yeah. I mean, for good or for bad, the form is fairly clean overall. I think your transition move on this left leg here, like getting into this transition move, is really the thing that stands out to me as like needing some, like, where I would clean it up. So here through the X and this like hip turn here, where you get a little too far back. It's just hard to get into like a balanced position on this front leg with that. So you got like a little interesting spin out, you go heel, and it transitions back to like the side of the foot / toe, just because it's tough to contain that, perhaps. But it's pretty clean overall. So now you're looking at weightlifting shoes, of course. It's like zero drop Helios. So let me pull it to this part of your. So this part right here tends to be pretty tough to get through if your feet are, when you're coming through, if your right foot here is directly in line or more in line with your left foot, instead of having a little bit of stagger here, it makes it so that your foot, your back leg, has to kind of go around your right leg. So when that happens, you end up swinging the hips back a little bit, and then you do a really good job of getting out of it, all things considered. I was trying to add to my hip involvement and not sure if it's getting engaged enough. I don't really teach engaging the hips, so I actually prefer to think about just blocking the hips and then they'll rotate. So, but I wouldn't do anything, I wouldn't think about anything different with your hips right now. I just think about this part here, creating a little bit of a, when you go here, create a little bit of an offset here so that you can see, like how you see my left foot here. That makes it, because we can see that you got bend here in your right leg, right? So now we've got this little like knee cubby. Now this can slide straight through without having to go, obviously if they're in line, without having to go around. So it makes it a lot easier to keep a nice smooth transfer of momentum through that X step, which I think is the big problem for you, right? And then you're not so far back with this back foot, and then coming off of this heel. So see how it has to turn right away, and you actually drift. Like, well, that's a square. Well, it's a rectangle. Definitely not a square. Drifts like back, behind, away from us here. It's kind of messing up your momentum. So, yeah. I look at changing that. Questions on that? Correct. And I think your solution to not overturning on the back foot is give yourself a little stagger here. Pull this foot more towards us in the camera. No, I generally like what you're doing with basically everything else. I mean, the rest of the form is pretty solid. Yeah. Yeah. All right, brother. Next. Yes. Got you. Me old Rick. 64, 1200. Well, brother, you're leaving. I mean, how far are you throwing this 64? That should be 440-ish. So the nose angle would make it more like 380-ish. Do 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 do. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, this is tough. The pocket collapses a bit here in this frame. So you get kind of stuck here. Oh, I thought you were just doing something.
No, he's 58 meters back here.
Looks like you were just mashing down the thumb, huh? Right, does that disc look warped? Down in the middle. I mean, I swear it looks like you finished like that. Putting that amount of like pressure on from the thumb side is, yeah, I mean, you can imagine if you're doing this, if you have crazy pressure here, you're begging it to pop up this way.
Pretty low in front of you, you can't quite see it with the degree up.
Huh? There? Yeah, if you're pushing here, it's trying to flip this way. Right. Yeah, so guys, what I'm saying is if you hold it just like this is the magic grip. This fixes all of your problems. Take a good look. But yeah, pressure from on top, you're pushing that thing down the whole time. So yeah, I tend to think actually that the thumb is more of like a placeholder nowadays. Not that you're trying to really like mash it, but that you're containing the disc with these fingers, right? And this is just hard enough to make sure that it's not going like flapping in the wind as you go. Yeah, I mean, definitely no more letter. What is this? Hold on. I would have to go through the whole alphabet. What letter is this?
That's
N and then M, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got your nose. You said. That's it. Oh, T. N is there and then M is here. Right. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Isn't M here? Yeah, because it's an M, right? Oh, learned people teach us. Okay, yeah, so I think I can help you with your nose issue there, right? At least mess with it and see what happens. And then the other thing is, whoops, oh yeah. Don't just get back here like this, right, with both shoulders back like this. Let this left shoulder move back, right? Let the whole core turn, not just like a, what's that, like dance move? Both shoulders come back, and this left arm doesn't have to come in so early and like close this off for you. There needs to be for sure enough tension here that the pocket doesn't collapse, right? Even better if you can kind of move your elbow forward and grow the pocket. Those are kind of the first two things I would work on. Right, other than the got your nose. And I wouldn't be surprised if your wobble got better. Just double checked. It is T. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's my answer, and I'm holding to it. Sticking with it. Yes. So we're going to get rid of got your nose. We're going to let both shoulders coil, not just both shoulders here. And then we're going to maintain this space here. Charizard. Yep, I mean those I would say are most bang for your buck. Brooder Tom. Brother. Hey, brother. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I calm down my back foot and my off arm. I think my form looks better now, but I think I also get less coil this way. Top is new. Thank you. You gotta love the organized people in your life. Package things so nicely. You're like, dang. Yeah. Well, I do love the footwork of the top way more than the bottom. If they were children, the top would be my favorite. Now, look at that. That's just a stronger base right there, isn't it? Just looks better. Just looks stronger. Now, at some point, well, I won't even mention that. But at some point, we'll lengthen. I will mention it. Okay. At some point, we'll lengthen this leg back out again when we're bringing in more momentum, and we can maintain this same kind of feel posture. But for now, this is great. Okay. Yeah. So let's coil this way. But now that you've fixed the relationships that are going on down here, the inter-leg relationships, it's a small thing to get coil. I think you're correct that you need more coil. And the left arm, the left arm coming from all the way here, I understand this struggle big time, right? Because my off arm was super wily, which some people made work. Me, I decided to change it and just make it easier on myself. I might not even have it changed all the time right now. But I went from being here with a nice coil, huge off arm move, and then had to come all the way in to now I basically walk up like like this, where it just feels like it's here. It feels like this the whole time. It's not that the whole time, but it feels awfully close to that. And so it's actually more like here. And then you just have to have this little extra stretch. You can feel here instead. You can take this shoulder and just go whoop, and pull that back, and you can feel this stretch in the chest. I was on with another coach yesterday. He was using all the muscle groups by name. I was trying to remember what it was, but not me, not this guy. Maybe eventually, but yeah. What is 07? But yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, you have the answer already. You know, the thing to work on here is, because you're actually going kind of the opposite direction now, right? Your left arm's already coming in well before you're planting, right? So you got to take that whole time and you got to go every bit of that step. Every bit of that forward step is stretching a little bit more. Is dude saluting me? What? So a good drill for that is actually to go boop, 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 just little by little. There. Oh, the 07 is a dude saluting. I got it. So, or the door frame drill. Which I'll show. Why not? Why not show it? Why not make Dakota do another shooting thing? I'm not used to this internet thing. There's the door frame drill, right? Where you got this stretch here. Very natural turn. Right, you're waiting for your whole foot to hit. Boom. You let it hit. Josh Francisco. You being new here probably don't know that my name is Josh, so they're probably actually talking about me. I could be wrong. But yeah, now, more coil. Isn't it annoying when you fix one little thing and then it kind of screws up something else and then you got to go do both correct at the same time? Form. What a brutal game we play. It's the most brutal game of whack-a-mole ever. I hear some people actually win the game. Okay, somebody else said they were here. Deadeye. I guess Mikey didn't set up the Deadeye. Deadeye. I don't see a Deadeye. And Mikey's not here, so don't know what to tell you. Maybe Dakota can peruse around, but the chances are that there was a missed subject line or you didn't grant access or something like that.
What game was it again?
There's a form review specific email. I've never seen it. I just know it exists.
It might not be on this computer, it'll be on this Mac,
Right.
so I do not have access to it.
Unless you have another name that
How many?
it would have been under. Deadeye. You can text Mikey and see. Yeah, sorry, there are a lot of stuffs to do. But that's the only way form reviews would happen, honestly. Because if it wasn't as automated as it is, I don't know that I would spend my time to do them. It's really kind of a labor of love at this point. I think they're helpful, and I'm glad to give people the option. Okay, who else is here? I shouldn't work on my form today. I have a 2-round tournament tomorrow. We rest today. That is a good call. Okay, I'm gonna start through the people that aren't here now. I love they changed his name to Trevor from Discord. All right, let's do Trevor. Trevor from Discord. These do pay for Chipotle, though.
Chipotle!
That is nice. I do get Chipotle twice a month. That's where I eat out. Okay. Hold up. There are other problems, but there's a big wobble problem here. Something big's happening. No? I mean, I dare say that does not look like you.
Wobble.
Why is it wobbling? I need 16K.
It has.
240 FPS. There are worse places to eat out. There are better places to eat out as well. What is happening here? Somewhere here. So there's a pronation there. And the thumb is finishing on top of the fingers. That's what it looks like to me. Well, this is a good lesson. You don't have to always know exactly what's happening in the wrong way. You just have to know what the right way is with form. But the fingers definitely are opening here. And the thumb is then going to lay on top of the fingers. Brother, so you're opening here and pushing with the thumb. Like that. Okay. Hand position. This is what your hand position should be like on the disc. And before the disc leaves your hand and after the disc leaves your hand, it's going to be here. With disc, that looks like this. We're going to take these fingers and we're going to pull the rim of the disc into our palm with these fingers. You have seen general alignment for this where people line it up between here, right, and the heel of their hand. Like that. I'm going to trust Dakota to tell me if I'm not in frame. Right. So we're going to pull it in there. We are focusing on the fingers pulling into the palm and the thumb over top like this. This reminds me of how I hold a key, right? I don't hold a key like this. I don't go, oh, here's my door, whoop, whoop, right? I just go, I don't have them right here. But yeah, anyways, how I hold a key. That. So this hand position stays the whole time. This, and so I'm going to focus on this hand position. Does not have to be death grip. It has to be, closed. So there's open and there's closed, and then there's firm and loose. Right? Firm and loose. But yeah. Closed in this position doesn't have to be a death grip. Okay. Important to note that, again, we're putting pressure here, holding the disc in our hand with these fingers, not holding it in our hand with our thumb, not just securing it here, right, by pinching here, because that's ultimately going to cause us to pop under like that. So the main supporting point of the disc is there, actually. The thumb is helping. Okay, so now with my holding key grip and loose so that I don't grip lock it into my door behind me or that light, I'm going to focus on just the hand shape, just feeling this hand shape throughout and afterwards. So I want to finish with that hand shape. Good. Not here, here. All right, and you keep doing that. You keep focusing on the hand shape. So, because you got some weird interaction with the disc coming out of your hand. That's it's priority number one, how your hand interacts with the disc, in my mind. Other people like to work from the ground up, blah, blah, blah. In my mind, interaction with the disc, first and foremost. Ba-doop. All right. Threw it right at the guy. What guy? Oh, because they see like the image up there?
Yeah, I think on the screen.
Is there a way to ask Mikey if my video got submitted?
I just texted him, he's on a course right now, so I don't know that I'll be able to get to him. But I'll do my best.
He's on a course.
His brother-in-law
Ah,
is
David.
back from deployment.
Gotcha. He's got a brother-in-law that's back from deployment that he's hanging out with today. So, no clue if that's coming in time or not. But I will say the chances that it was a fault on our end, we generally are pretty good about it. So, yeah, don't know what to say. Birdman, here. Larry? That's not Larry. What if it was Larry? What if his name was Larry? Okay, okay. Do 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 do. Okay, what would I work on first? So I would work on keeping your hand on the back of the disc for as long as possible. Because your hand kind of moves kind of to the front of the disc, and your elbow's kind of dropping a bit, and then just going out and around. I think probably the simplest thing to do is, if this is the front of the disc here, this is the back of the disc, we kind of wrap our hand, curl it kind of around the back of the disc. You'll notice this also helps keep the elbow up and give us space to move. But I think if you think from your backswing, hand already kind of curled around the back of the disc here, and just move it forward with your hand around the back of it, not letting it go in front. So this would be the correct way here: forward, 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 hand on back of disc, hand on back of disc, good to go. This would be forward the wrong way, hand on front of disc. Right, so the right way, here, hand on back. The wrong way, here, hand on front. So, slowly, like that. And then eventually picking it up. I'm just doing this from one leg. I would recommend doing it from one leg for a little bit at least. And then throwing. Just, can I get all the way past my body with my hand on the back of the disc? It's not going to stay on the back of the disc the whole time. It's going to start rolling, but it's going to start rolling way later instead of here. Mm-hmm. Birdman. I got it, Pixel Imp. Yep.
Did I need to make sure you send to the right email? Because Mikey said there's nothing in that email.
Okay. Deadeye Mikey says to check the email address you sent it to, because there's nothing in our email from you. Just gonna show this real quick. Boop. Where is it? Here it is. Boop. This kind of curl here. Curl, curl, curl. Hand towards the back of the disc. Very late uncurl. Wow. If you can be Simon, some would recommend it. Good. Does Lazat never extend his arm fully? Not until the follow through. Yeah, you don't extend all into the hit all the way. Like, your arm doesn't lock out to the hit. The arm doesn't more or less lock out until the follow through, until all the energy's gone. You don't want a motion finishing with boom, your action while the elbow is extending. Oh, and the reach back. No, he does it for that. That was only 450 feet. So he doesn't extend there. It's not until he goes max distance that he gets a full extension there. All right, next we're going to do cyanide angst. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yes, I've been racking my brain over you, cyanide, because I'm tired of seeing this crap. So are you. I've decided that you have an extremely front-loaded grip. Give me one less blurry. Yep. It flips up, but this interaction in the pocket has just kind of killed me all the time because it's killed him too. I mean, the elbow drop happens, and Mikey's going through the same thing. Right, where Mikey naturally flips like this. Right, he's breaking it now. But also, this amount of move in the pocket, right here, you see this? You see how his hand is going down, but his disc is up like this? That's like just too loose of a connection between the hand and the disc. And that little weird bounce back thing. You see all that wobble out of there? So, yeah, I've been replaying his form in my head since the last form review. Just thinking, how could I make it do that if I were going to try to make his mistake? And I'd have to go, this would have to be loose, right? And my hand would have to be kind of in front of it. Instead of the pulled in, pull into your hand with these two fingers primarily, right? And then apply pressure from back to front and make sure that you are pulling this thing into your palm. We're not squeezing the flight plate, creating this loose connection. We are pulling into the palm and we are controlling the disc so that no matter what I do here, I've got control over the disc. There's not this little like delay as I move forward. If I do that same motion here with the grip I just showed you, the disc comes with me. It doesn't change. If my arm goes down, it doesn't flip up and then have to redirect and change direction. It just moves with my arm. Right? So even if I went here, right, it wouldn't flip. The only reason it's going to flip in my hand is if I'm here, and when I start to go down, this is loose and I'm not controlling the rim of the disc. I'm not pulling the disc into my palm with my fingers. Right? So it's able to move because I'm controlling the flight plate. So control the rim, pull it into the palm. Pull it into the base of the hand. Yeah, I'm not sure. Why don't you just message me with your form on Discord? send me a message, and then we'll figure out what happened on the back end. But so all the way in. I mean, your problem is for sure an interaction problem. So pull it all the way into the hand. If your arm moves, the disc moves. There's no counter movement to my arm goes down, the disc goes up, my arm goes up, the disc goes down. And then keep your hand closed. After you have that, make sure your hand stays closed on the disc. The day that problem is fixed, we will both be extremely happy. I did grip lock a couple putts right yesterday. Felt good. Hadn't done it that bad in a while. Such an annoying problem to have. Okay. Just tell me when you message me, did I? With the Google Drive link. And make sure you grant me access to it. Me being Josh at overthrowdiscgolf.com. Just to be abundantly clear for those viewers who might get some crazy idea, this is a one-time deal here because Mikey's gone. So this is obviously an exception.
The bank does not have access to the things.
Yeah. To what normally happens. Emergency measures have been deployed. Okay, Psychic Pineapple. Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out this. Here. We're kind of sprawled out here in the old horse stance. So you can stop efficiently. We need to fix that. So you might need to look a little further back in the walk up. So first things first, balance, posture. So we want, I feel like there's less room today for some reason. It's not true, but I feel so cramped. Okay, so we want always to move in this balanced kind of A-frame. All right, so A-frame being my head is always playing inside of my feet. It's not like my head is over my left foot or over my right foot and I've got this other one there. I'm not wobbling down the line here. So when we take this next cross step here, I want to make sure that I'm not hanging back outside of my framework here of my feet. So I always want to be centered up between my feet. It's probably the easier way of saying that. So it's really important because if we're coming from over here in hurling our upper body forward, it's really hard not to bleed past your brace. And it's hard to coil if you're back here. So we want to make sure that we're always moving with our center between our feet. So moving forward here, now it comes to this left step here. You are a little bit more back than I am on this left step. You might consider not being quite as forward, right? But here, not directly sideways with the hips, but just a little bit back with the hips, right? And from here, you need to make sure that you turn this hip away from the target. We need to turn our butt towards the target, not just our back, right? So if we just turn one and we don't turn this one, well, we're open here like this. And now our foot is not going to stop us. So we need to come in turned like this, because in this position right here, now this leg is set up to catch my body weight and stop my movement. So that is, again, balance going forward, making sure that we're centered up between our legs. We're going to tweak just this position here. Don't go quite so far back. We'll tweak it here. And then we're going to turn the hips back so that we're here now. And from here, now we can really stop before we throw. Mm-hmm. Okay, now if you could stop sharing my screen, Dakota, or just make sure you're not on it. I've got the secrets that will get everybody throwing 500 feet. So if they were seeing my screen right now, it would be a problem. Okay. Okay, don't show yet. Just need to check something.
Excellent, got his shoulder back. Let's go.
What do I want to do? I want to look here. Where is it? Oh, sure. Oh, you know what? I need to do this. I see. Okay. All right, I've got you. Hey, I'm ready to coach, brother. Show me that snow. Bum bum. Yeah, you need to spend the rest of this time coiling. So what I'm looking for is that while this foot is in transit, your shoulders are turning the whole time. So you get about here, and now your left arm starts trying to swoop in to save the day. But it stops your coiling and actually makes you start uncoiling before you're planted here. See that? Now your foot's down. And so here's where your throw starts. So you're working from about half a swing. Right, so instead of that, work on coiling the entirety of this final step, from here once you get on your left. So right here we start. So right here we start, and then we trust fall forward until we feel this foot hit the ground. So that whole time, the only move is turning back with the body. There's no back turn and forward turn. So correction here, and then I'll address the swoop. So here, there, here, turn the whole time. Here, turn, the plant happened, I'm here, throw. The swoop happens because you took your shoulders from up here down here. Right? Instead, if you have proper posture, the shoulders would be like this. Like this. They wouldn't be both up and then swinging both down like this. It would be here, here. And then you would move your arm through. Now, depending on what camp you're in, determines what you call the solution for the swoop. But yeah, I would just work on coiling properly. Get a good posture, and then coil the whole time. Waiting right. Here is the posture. Whoop. Let's see if it'll show me, or if it will hate me. Guess not. Oh. Whoop. Bend to the knees. Getting ready to sit down in a chair. Right, and then from there, you coil. Right. Try that again. Whoop. There we go. If this was you, your shoulders would be like here. And so then your shoulder is going to try to find this red line again. And in so doing, drop. Form reviews. Yes, sir. All right. Only spring and green here now. Well, good for you, Pixel Imp. It's spring and green where we're at too.
No. Yellow.
Yeah, the yellow. Yellow with the dust of plants. Plant dust. All right, Phil Saul will be next. Wow, that's money. But the T-pad is relatively clean. That is tough. It's tough because you don't have a lot of room. Because definitely what you need here is more time. You need more time to coil. You need that front foot to stretch out a bit further. But also, if you did that, you'd be in the dirt here. Oop. Is that a Disc Golf Pro Tour T-pad? Somebody turn on Music City Open. Let's see. Remember how muddy it was last year? That was brutal. I hope they kept the same hole. Was it 3? 4? That quirky little one that looked like you could just, it like moved right really quickly and then left really quickly. It was tight. It was a little shorty. But had people trying like super tight flexes with something slow, didn't work. You actually need something fast in that speed that will flex out early because you're throwing it so slow. Okay, anyways. Okay, so you need longer time to coil here. You need a larger coil, not just with the shoulders, but you got to get your hips back too. So here to where we get this knee turned back a bit, right? We don't want it here. Also, when you finally land, you have to have enough resistance here to stop all your momentum with this foot right away, right? It's easier if you can get this foot way far away from your center, or think like your belly button, right? If you can get this way out in front of you, it's easier to stop right away. Right, so this is why I'm saying it's kind of brutal that you have this short T-pad, because ideally, like, you could just continue going and you'd get a longer, you'd have more time to coil, and it'd be easier for you to stop your weight. So when this touches, you don't want to go boing, whoop. It's not, there's no like rebounding type. You don't want to trampoline into this leg. You want it to be just absolutely spring-loaded leg where this thing touches and it's just immediate stop. You know, maybe spring-loaded is not the image for you, but it has to be firm right away. If you could stop all your forward momentum with your big toe, the second it touched, you would do that. But generally, when we're putting all our body weight on our right foot and then some, a big toe's not enough to do that. But you want to go big stop right away. So we need the hips to be turned back, because if your foot's forward like this, your knee's forward, it just won't stop you. Right, so we need the knee back a little bit so they can stop your body weight from moving. Right, and then spend your whole time turning. More coil. All right, Rain, or so I'm going to call them. R-H-A-N-E. Ba-bum, bum, bum, bum. Is it playing? What is happening? Oh. Duk, 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 duk. Stop motion picture. Pretty sure I see Mike use the same exact move before. See this, Dakota? Whoop.
Right.
The like toe.
Oh, that is.
Like toe whippy thing. Whoop. And then the late leg whip. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I want to address is the arms as a unit. And what they should do. So your arm's not getting tight here, your left arm. Just a little bit of over rotation, I think. Okay. Is that 2 liters of coffee? I don't believe so. I am an American though, so do I really know what a liter is? I'm pretty sure it's 20 liters.
I'm sure American definitely knows what a 2 liter is.
Ugh. Okay, so the arms as a unit, both arms go back together. I would quiet your left arm instead of having it be up here. There are people that we see that do that successfully. One, namely Garrett Gerthy. But I would try to get them more of the hands go back together and there's a little bit of separation. A little bit of separation here, but hands go back together and then your left hand goes somewhere around your left pocket. Right, instead of here and it being out of sync, make it both go back. So both go back together and then both come in together. So you've worked on obviously getting here with your right arm. At that same time, your left arm needs to be tight to the body. So it's both arms back, both arms forward, and then in my mind it's just kind of like the left gets blocked by the body. and then this can continue going. So if we wanted to put it into a swing feel where it's much more fluid, it would be kind of like this. Back together, forward together, back together, forward together, back together, forward together, back together, forward together, right? Or you can go back together, forward together, back together, forward together. Here, 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 right? And that helps keep us from this just being dead weight back here and making it harder for us to throw this thing over here. And then this thing can hang out. Hangs out there, sorry. Hangs out right there while the right continues on. And then eventually comes around. So, back together, in together. Back together, forward together. I think it would clean up a couple things if you worked on the arms like a unit in that way. D blue is next. D-E-E-B-L-U. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not 2 liters, I can tell you that much. I think it's 1 kiloton. Metrics, kilowatts. It's 1 kilowatt.
1 kilowatt. 1 kilowatt of caffeine. Imagine if they measure like energy drinks and energy stuff like that. Great.
He just hopped off the lawnmower. He mowed the field first. He was mowing the field, then he found the disc from disc golfers that were doing it. Started throwing. He's like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get at this thing.
It's a good puck face though. He's already got it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that I like the tilted nature to your posture here. Let's see. And when I say I'm not sure, I'm also not sure that I don't like it. It's weird. Kind of reminds me of... Oh, what am I doing? I should have done this, 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 this. Oh, it doesn't want me to select. Okay. Okay. Who would you want me to select? Okay, nobody. Okay. We're just about in the correct moment here. It's right here. Yeah. You know, can I really say something about it? Oh, come on, Skeletor. Wakey, wakey. There's a 1. There's a 2. Right? Yeah, I guess I can't say too much about it. At first it looked weird to me, and then my mind shouted Simon at me. Right? Disregard. How does Simon get out of this smoothly? Ah. Is it disregard though? Hold on. Oop. Okay. Yeah, disregard. I think this is what John was talking to me about the other day. Now that I remember that conversation. Okay. Yeah, you're pulling it a little early if you're playing at foot timing. See, here's the tuk, 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 tuk. Let's see where your arm starts moving. Here, your arm starts breaking forward. And now your foot's down and resisting. Your elbow's a bit tight to your body. So delay a little bit longer. Make sure you're planted before you start pulling through. That's thing 1. Thing 2 is get your hand around the back of the disc a bit. You're kind of on the side / front of the disc early, causing your elbows dropping a bit. So keep your hand curled around the back of the disc a bit more. Here. As you move through. And then last thing, your left arm. So when you're here and this left arm pins, it needs to stay here. Don't let it just leak forward and let your left shoulder continue to leak forward. It needs to hang out here. So we're going to plant and then throw our arms forward, keeping our hand on the back of the disc, curled around the back of the disc here. And then when this left arm comes in, it stays here and pins so that the torso can decelerate and proximal and distal parts and all that jazz. Peace. We do not have a year pay option anymore. We had it in the past, but since forward projections of our lives a year from now are becoming increasingly less blurry, increasingly more blurry. Yeah, we're not sure. We're just not sure that we want to lock ourselves into years of Patreon tears.
Years of tears.
Years of tears.
Oh.
Years of Tears. It's a cover band for Tears for Fears. Tears of Fears. Flippy Phil. He's next.
Holland's so awkward.
Is she?
Yeah.
Ba-dee-dee, ba-dee-do-do, do-dum, bang-ding-bang-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. Well, my app did not want to cooperate. Let's see here. Super early pool happening here. Early pool and going out mega early. Yeah, okay, so the two things. Oh, de bleu. De bleu. Okay. So first thing, continue coiling until this foot hits. So not just like a waiting, and we're doing nothing. We're going to turn back until our front foot is all the way planted. It is planted to stop our hips from moving forward anymore. So during that time, we've got to go turn. And so this is where you should be. Full coil, planted. Next, I would work on getting the hand all the way past the body, trying not to let it go here in the shoulders, and then moving out so early. If you can avoid it, I would instead keep sending the hand through the pocket, past the body, staying side on for as long as possible with that. So here, let the hand pass the body, and then let the body open up. Instead of the disc getting here, and then you turning the body, and the hand trying to go out here. So we're here, move the hand past the body, and the body will kind of move on its own to help stay out of the way of the hand. So here, throw the hand. A drill that I use for that is I get people to set up here. Now you're already on your front foot, and then you throw behind you. And you try to do very little with the chest. Do you pull your arm in to the pocket, or do you guide it and then explode? Well, I would say it's active. It's an active move forward past the body. And the outward move, if you actively guide it forward, the outward move will be passive. If you passively let it come in, you're going to have to actively push out later. So I think it's better just to move the thing forward. There is some activity needed there. Your hand has got to stay in front of your shoulders. So like we see here, the hand was moving, and now the shoulders caught up, and now the hand is only moving with the shoulders, right? It should continue passing the shoulders, not getting caught by the shoulders and trapped, ensnared. Boop. Okay, Steve-O. It's a far. Oh, it's a lefty. Oh, man. It's a lefty. I thought it was a forehand for a second. Ugh, lefties suck. Forehands rule. It's the second lefty we had on today, I think. Is that right? Anyways. Okay, let's see. Don't you twist that heel. Don't do it. Okay. Nice. And coming forward, and coming forward. Okay. Okay, so things are trying to be done correctly. They're being done very intentionally, right? Which is good and also bad. It's a double-edged sword. Excuse me. So he's trying to stay closed. He's trying not to turn the shoulders too far forward. We can see that. I think it's a good time to look a little bit at the interaction of the disc with the hand, what we want to do, because I think you're just here. Right. So you're only hooking here and these fingers aren't holding onto the disc, which is going to make it very nose up, very little spin, quite wobbly usually as well. Okay, and then I just want to talk about the front leg a little bit. Thanks, Dice Hand Entertainment. Okay. So the hand needs to move forward in one smooth, accelerated motion. So right now, it looks a little segmented to me. So it looks very piece by piece. The hand's kind of on the front of the disc. So the one motion that I think connects it kind of all together is if you can move the disc forward with the hand curled around towards the back of the disc. Instead of being here with it, you can see as you go throughout your shot that your hand is on the back here, but very quickly, before it even gets to your like mid-chest, it's already on the front of the disc. Right, so instead, practice keeping it there on the back of the disc. It should get well past the chest before it feels like it has to start coming around to the front of the disc, right? So move it forward. It means it's going to go through the pocket. It's going to curl your arm on its own, basically. And continue going forward, forward. Also making sure to keep your hand closed in this way. Not closed like this. The pressure is not just here. This is a full hand closed on the disc feel. Right, so it is this. It's not this, doesn't feel like this, doesn't look like this. It is this. And this feels like all the fingers are down. So the fingers that are not helping keep my hand closed right now, I will move. None of them. They're all keeping it closed. Right, so it's there. So hand on the back of the disc in that position, moving forward. Like that. I'll throw and I'll try to make a one motion. So that's the audio cue with it. Now to throw. One forward accelerated motion. Hand is closed, hand is closed, hand is closed. Right. Yeah, and if your foot wants to pivot, let it pivot. That's the other thing, is we don't need the knee to be the thing that keeps us closed, right? It's just generally we're here in this stance. And so if I throw with enough force, this wants to open, so I'm going to let it open. It's going to twist open. I'm not going to try to stop it and have my knee like springboard me back. It's tough on the knee. So now paying attention to the foot, same drill. Right, let it turn when it wants to. For self-preservation. Disc domination. Buttery crustation. Swing elongation. Back into disc golf. Snorange. Just so he could have something to rhyme with orange in his diss track. Take that, Eminem. Is this not the field at Eastway?
That looks exactly like the Eastway.
Don't you just walk down this way to get to whatever hole it is? But it's interesting, the throwing direction, if that was the case, right? What is... all you guys coming out of the woodworks, you lefties. You Charlotte lefties. Okay. I want to talk about posture. And yeah, I want to talk about this last moment of coil here in posture. Let's do that. Because if you start coiling, you're going to love life, brother. I mean, you're going to start shanking some shots as well, probably, in the beginning. But they're going to be shanked into the tree real hard. And you're gonna be like, if I didn't hit that tree, that thing was smoked. Okay, so first off, posture. Super important prerequisite to good form. We need to get in a posture that's kind of like this. Right, so if you played other sports, it needs to be like this. That is knees bent, your butt's kind of out, your chest is over your knees. Right, this is putting us kind of towards our toes. You don't have to be like this, but it's rolled towards the toes to where my heels are a little bit off the ground, definitely in my shoe. It's not like my heels are pressing down my shoe. So that posture, super important. Then we need to coil. And the coil is this. Keep your body centered here. So I'm going to keep my eye on you. The camera and my head's not going to turn. I'm just going to twist here to where I'm just going to turn my back to where I'm throwing. Right? And so now you can see like this part. Notice I stayed centered. It's really important to do that and not go like this. So any move like this during the coil, it's not the way. We only want to twist basically. So we got that nice posture, my chest's over my knees, so now that twist looks like this. Here, or with the disc, centered, turn. So I turn my back to the target. I also end up turning my butt to the target a little bit, not as much as my back, but definitely turning a little bit, right? And that gives me all this room to swing. So now my swing actually comes from the space for my swing comes from my shoulder, not just from my arm going back. This is such a small amount of swing here. I've only got from here to here, right? But if I turn this shoulder all the way back, now I've got here to here. It's just a much longer swing this way than if I'm just here. Right? There's the short swing with the coil that you have on the picture here. Just maybe like there actually. There, that's probably fair. Boom. Versus here. And lots of space. See all the space that the disc has away from my body with that posture? I create room for the disc to pass through here. And a lot of it. So that's what I would work on. Japers 71. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Don't you start that, Dakota.
I'm bigger than that. Beat out of yours.
Yep. All right. So similar here as well. You could coil more. There's not a lot of space with your pocket. Come on, Skeletor, do it. Do it. See how little angle there is there? It's tiny. Right, that space is created on this backswing here, on this coil. Let's go here. Hey, yeah. Ooh. So he's got this trail shoulder just a little bit further. there, and he's got a lot of room for the pocket. The other thing is he's got the hips just a little bit further back. Your stance could be a little bit wider. You could be a little bit more, instead of rolling off of this heel here. See how he's coming off of this left toe? So there's room for a little more athleticism coming forward here. Whoa, whoa, cool. I didn't mean to do that, but that was cool. Right, and the rolling from your heel to this front foot. Yeah, it just needs a little more athleticism on that part. You need to be, what it do? So coming off of this left foot, you need to be here, solid on this toe. Not coming off the heel here and rolling. We want to go here into a really solid turned position, right, where we coil this butt back a little bit. This is kind of that position where we look at the knees kind of going into one another, right, and coming off your toe instead of straight legged like this, because you're rolling off of your heel. That's all in this loading phase here. Off the left, solid towards the toe. Big turn there. Give us nice open space with the chest back here, and then maintain that pocket moving forward. I would say that maybe even here, this step right here, you might want to orient forward just a little bit more so you don't already get into this. If you're here already turning back, it makes you kind of want to walk towards your heels for the rest of the move. So maybe even this right step here, instead of being turned, really already stay a little more side on with that. Stay towards the toes a bit, and then it makes it a bit easier to get onto this left toe and stay onto this left toe instead of going back and then rolling kind of heel slash side of the foot with this foot, and then really rolling to the heel here. So it needs to be sideways here, toe here. Lets us load a bit better, get a bit better coil there, a little bit more with the shoulders, and then we're headed in the full plant, right? So there, and now we're ready to just rip from a strong position. So hopefully those differences are pretty obvious now. Turn back, rolling off the side of the foot there pretty heavily, rolling from toe to heel. Right. And sometimes pretty duck-footed, so like for him to stay toe side is even more incriminating. I don't have a good word for that, sorry. But that's the one you're getting. Gets the point across. All right. How do I coil correct and still release the disc flat? I most of the time end up hyzer. Hyzer's not a bad thing. But you can adjust with the forearm a little bit. Right? You don't have to hold it like here. You can have it there. A little bit of tilt with the forearm. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, you just been chilling here the whole time, Sean? Did you tell me you were here already? I just...
Yeah.
Okay.
He just wanted to sit there the whole thing.
Dang, brother.
He's out.
See, even like here, having this weight on the heel here where I can see the toe moving, tells me it's going to be harder to get into good posture stuff later on. Yeah, I mean, the theme of the day really is coil, isn't it? But it is coil with the emphasis on posture needing to be correct. Right, so right here you should already be solid on that right leg. Solid being like not standing on your heels. And then here you just don't, you start actually uncoiling right here. Your hip starts trying to fling forward here. And this is all the, so you got flared out here, and then your shoulder coil is the wrong way. Should be this way. Reaching too far up with my lead leg? No, no, I don't think that at all. I think the big thing is one, don't start on your heel here. Let's roll everything towards the toes. All right, get the butt out a bit, knees bent. All right, so that when you go through here, you're solid on this right leg already, as in solid, as in like that. Not that you're on your heel. Like if you try to do little mini squats off your heel here, would not be comfortable. Whereas here, you've got some pressing power. So there. And then we're going to be solid on this left again. And from here, the question is what happens. And this is where you need to practice. Just turning your chest all the way away from the target. You can let your eyes go too. That's fine. What does this move? Door frame, not a bad option either. Right, I'm on my left. Here, that also turned my butt away from the target. And this is the last move here. Whereas you're kind of here and you're trying to open here. You see how my legs are now flared open? And my shoulders are where your shoulders are at here. It's because I didn't let them turn, or I didn't force the turn here. Here, here. Right, or here, here. Like I'm swinging something back as I'm stepping. Here, here. Here, 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 here. And then shakablooey, DeChambeau, ball go. Questions on that? When you get the same feedback 2 times in a row. Sometimes it'd be like that. All right, gentlemen and any gentle ladies that may be watching, we're gonna watch the other ladies. Absolutely, Sean. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will not delay the ending of the stream. We're gonna watch FPL. Thanks. Peace.